what the mood is like at the start of the new year from the alcohol space. Shekhar Ramamurthy, the MD of United Breweries, joins us now to talk about that. Happy New Year to you, Shekhar. I wanted to start by asking you about the volume growth in the last few quarters, which has been very, very sluggish. Industry volumes are actually down 5% in the quarter gone by. Should we expect this weak trend to continue?
Well, firstly, Happy New Year to you and to all the viewers. And yeah, you're right. The volumes in the last couple of quarters have been sluggish. And, what we are finding is that volumes were beginning to recover, post-October and early November. But this demonetization has had its impact on our business too. Because at the end of the day, our business happens at retail outlets, and it's relatively small value transactions. And bulk of the transactions at retail shops happen by cash, particularly in smaller towns. So whereas in the bigger cities like in a Bangalore or a Delhi, the impact has not been so much because people use credit cards and debit cards. But in smaller towns, bulk of the transactions still happen by cash. And this I'm talking about consumers who go to bars and shops and pay for their beer in cash. So what I'd like to say is that, yes, there were signs of recovery, and the impact of demonetization will clearly go away sooner than later as money comes back into the system, as people start getting used to more cashless transactions. And we are finding that. We're finding that many bars and retail outlets who previously never used card transactions are today enabling themselves. So come back to your original question, do I see a recovery in volumes? I would say that recovery would happen maybe halfway through the year, once this entire impact of the earlier slowdown and the fact that demonetization does have an impact, once that goes away, volumes will come back. It'll probably go back to single-digit numbers. And I also believe that the consumer sentiment, which has been a little slack over the last year or so, that will also see an uptick. So with a combination of a better consumer sentiment, the impact of the cash which has gone out of the economy but hopefully will get replenished in people's hands, both these put together, and if we have a good summer, volume should start picking up through the second half of the year.
Okay, geography-wise, Shekhar, where do you see maximum decline?
You see, you're right. The bulk of the decline is happening in the West and in Karnataka. I mean, whilst Telangana has shown some growth and Kerala has shown modest growth, but Karnataka and Maharashtra, which are really the biggest states for beer business, have seen a decline. Now, the reasons are various. One, as I said, there is a little bit of a slack in consumer sentiment. Both Maharashtra and Karnataka actually have many large cities, and the economy doesn't depend only on the cities but also on the smaller towns. So the impact in Bombay and Maharashtra is different. Similarly, the impact in Karnataka and Bangalore is different. So whereas the Bangalore decline is less, the rest of Karnataka is more. Similarly, in Maharashtra, whereas the Bombay decline is less, the rest of Maharashtra is more. And the reasons are the usual. The fact that over the last couple of years, the government has put up duties quite steeply in both the markets. Consumer prices have gone up. As you would recall, in September of 16, the Maharashtra government brought back local body tax only on alcohol and beer, which it had withdrawn in the year August 15, when the government had come to power. But a year later, they brought it back. That pushed up prices again. So consumer prices in Maharashtra are high. Consumer prices in Karnataka have gone up. Both depend a lot on consumer sentiment and the overall economy growing. So both these, I would say, is that if we have a decent summer, if we have stability in the government policies in terms of taxation, and quite clearly the rest of the economy will.
Yeah, I got that point. But Shekhar, the other problem is margin, because on top of what you are facing because of demonetization, there's also the margin pressure, the input cost prices, sugar, barley, all of them also going up. What could the margins look like? Is there a risk of single-digit margin in second half?
Yeah, you're right. And this commodity prices rising is not just for our industry. I mean, everybody who uses agri products is facing the crunch. We have had discussions with sugar manufacturers, and the message we are getting is that sugar prices are going to go up again post-March. And we have to wait and watch what happens to barley. This year we had a very bad barley crop. That is the year 16-17, because of which we had to import almost 35% of our barley requirements. Barley sowing is on right now. I mean, it gets sowed in around December, and the crop comes in March and April. So if the barley crop is bad again, then prices of barley are going to go up, and again there will be a pressure on our margins. Now, margins have a combination. The impact on margins is a combination of ability to push price and also the cost of inputs. So, cost of inputs, I don't see us slackening. If the sugar prices are going to go up, if barley prices are going to continue to be high, the cost input is going to be pretty high. Now, in terms of pushing price, as you know, in our industry, in many of the states, the government controls the price at which we can supply, because we supply to government corporations and they control the price at which we supply. Whilst we have a continuous dialogue with them to allow us to at least push up our prices to the extent of inflation, we don't always succeed with them. So, as far as the industry is concerned, these will be the drivers. As far as UBL is concerned, we are looking at various ways of ensuring that whilst there will be pressures, but over the next 12 to 18 months, we will have initiatives which will ensure that there will be no significant erosion of margins.
Okay, well, Shekhar, all the best for that. Thanks for joining us. So